Welcome to the Millionaire Mindcast, where we broadcast weekly interviews with millionaire minds from across the globe to empower you on your journey of unlocking a rich and fulfilling life. It's time to unleash your millionaire within. Now, here's your host, Matty A.
What's going on, guys? Welcome into another Wealth Building Wednesday, talking all things mindset and money to help you on your march to $1 million and beyond. If you are new to the podcast, be sure to head over to go.millionairemindcast.com to enter our monthly giveaway of over $1,200 in prizes. We got courses, planners, books, Visa gift cards, coaching calls, all kinds of cool stuff. And also, if you haven't texted the word Wealth Camp to 844-447-1555. That's one word, Wealth Camp, to 844-447-1555 to learn about our upcoming Wealth Camp experiences, 5-star experiences, small intimate groups, 10 people or more, working on their wealth plans and doing some pretty epic stuff in the process. So if you guys want to learn more about some of those details, you can text Wealth Camp to 844-447-1555. What's up, my brother?
What's up? What's up, guys? What's up, you?
What's up, you? My arm
You're
hurts.
a cripple.
I am.
Man, a lot of things happened this week. You can't swing. You can't ride a bike. You can't do much for yourself. You can barely feed yourself. Market's going back up today, guys. We have...
we got some positive news, at least on the market.
Yeah. I don't think it's...
I see a lot of green this morning.
Yeah, light at the end of the tunnel, maybe. But essentially what's going on is the stimulus package that's looking to get passed, what's being tossed around right now, about $1.8 trillion from the Senate GOP and Nancy Pelosi.
2.5?
Yeah, Minority House Leader, $2.5 trillion. Neither of them was perfect, but hopefully by putting them together and kind of doing that like mixing bowl effect, we can kind of get the good out of both and the bad out of both and kind of come away with a better plan. So hopefully bipartisanship can kind of rear its head here because, April 1st is 8 days away. There's rent checks due. I am hoping that the individuals affected by this can get the relief that they need.
We need this backstop to come through, or else it's going to get real squirrely.
Now the benefit is, like I was saying last time we got on, like one of two things was bound to happen. First of all, this bear market's been the quickest bear market that's ever happened on a record.
Well, are we out of it yet?
No, we're still in a bear market. But
you're just saying it shifted to a bear market as quickly
15
days,
days.
ever has
15 days
in history. Okay.
So that's like a really breakneck speed, but it's also a bittersweet thing because it's kind of we get to the bottom quickly. Whereas imagine the dot-com bust, 2001, 2002, 2003. Imagine 3 years almost of this. So if something can snap down very quickly, and then you bring into the picture that in 2008, when we had the financial crisis, it took 7 months for us to hit, TARP levels, which that now exists. It didn't exist back then, and implement things that brought the market back to what we needed today. QE, quantitative easing, which is a fancy way of saying the Fed's injecting cash into the market, into the fixed income or the equities. And for the first time, guys, they're buying equities, and they're buying ETFs. They're buying ETFs, which I've never seen before.
Explain that to someone that doesn't understand.
An ETF is similar to a mutual fund. The only difference is an ETF has a higher level of liquidity. Most of our clients, when they want diversified baskets of securities, they're going to want ETFs because they're cheaper. They trade like a stock. And again, the liquidity level is a lot higher. When you have a mutual fund, generally speaking, if this is the mutual fund, you buy shares of the mutual fund and hold it in your portfolio, and the mutual fund holds the actual investments. So you own shares of the mutual fund, not the actual investment. So ETFs are just, again, a little bit more hands-on. So again, and I'm digressing, they're injecting about $150 billion a day, including today. They did it yesterday into the market. And what that's going to do is that's going to help the market also get some octane in it to get it going. Second to that, the other thing that was going to happen is stocks were eventually going to be so cheap that people like myself,
buy back in.
yeah, and institutions and big investors and people that maybe can afford to handle the volatility, they're going to buy back in, because it's at some point it's so cheap, it may almost doesn't make sense to not to.
So you can't necessarily time. Everybody's going, when should I get back in? When should I stay on the sidelines? Timing the bottom of the market, obviously. That's a fool's game. So.
Yeah, the more important thing is not missing when the market goes back up. So you may not necessarily find the exact bottom of the market, but the actual worst thing is not being in the market at all when it goes back up. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you invested a week ago versus somebody who invested last Friday. The person that bought last Friday is going to have bought at a lower price, so have gotten into the market a lot better. But both of you are going to benefit from the upward tick of the market. And the main thing that you don't want to miss out on is up market days. If you missed out on the last 4 up market days over the last 25 years, you would have had almost a 6% differential in your annualized rate of return on the same index portfolio to the S&P 500. Good morning.
What's up, Kara?
So I'm very hopeful moving forward. I think that we're going to get a lot more clarity from the World Health Organization. I think we're getting positive data from Italy. China was getting positive. Now it kind of is. I think they let off the gas a little bit too early, so it's working its way back in. I think that'll start being more positive. And we have test kits starting to roll out. So we're getting closer and closer and closer to this being over. Contingent on something happening today, I think that'd be a huge catalyst to see a sentiment change in the market and consumer confidence spike back up. I am very worried, though, of next month's unemployment report. I think it's going to be...
Talk about that.
I think it's going to be 25% plus.
Which is
around
the biggest jump ever in U.S. history.
Yeah, that fast.
Fast. I mean, we're looking at CNBC said this was the fastest 30% sell-off ever, exceeding the pace of declines during the Great Depression.
Yep.
So obviously this was an unprecedented, would you call it a black swan event?
It by definition would fit a black swan event. So I'll answer that in 2 ways.
Because at least in 9/11, in 2008, things that people just didn't necessarily see coming, people were still going out and patronizing businesses and going on vacations and going to sporting events and heading to their local eatery and grabbing a beer and kicking it. And right now, everything is paused.
You can't even go out and support your businesses.
Which is just fucking crazy.
Texas governor did come out today, though, and say that he's willing to risk getting the virus in order to patronize businesses because it's getting to the point of ridiculousness. We'll maybe cover that at a different time. But anywho, the biggest... This affects, from a health perspective, the older population, the very young, or the immunosuppressant, they're, vulnerable to sickness. But I also think that the other whiplash effect of this is people that live paycheck to paycheck cannot afford to absorb the impact of this. So whereas a lot of people that I know are doing fine, there's a lot of people that I know that are not doing fine.
Struggling.
So I really think the stimulus package getting passed today, yesterday would have been great. So we can get checks in the mail to people is going to be the biggest deal ever. It's not the first time the U.S. government has sent checks to people. It happened, I believe, I'm forgetting the dates. I think it happened in the 80s. I'm just blanking. Sorry, guys. I was trying to be sharp for you. My coffee shop was closed this morning.
Temples down.
But it's going to start working itself out. You're
more optimistic. I probably fall in the middle somewhere. I know a lot of people are still very, very concerned. I think there's a lot of, because we haven't seen this before, a lot of blowback and ripple effects that, because we haven't been through times like this, we can forecast and project and think we know what's going to happen, but there's so many variables that are still floating out there that haven't been nailed down, that we don't know the ancillary effects of how that's going to play out in certain markets and industries, and just confidence.
Absolutely.
And the biggest thing that we saw in this was the psyche of the average person
being torn down.
I mean, just it's really interesting to see how quickly social media, how our press can manipulate our confidence or lack thereof in how we navigate our daily lives. Yeah. And
we got to be careful of that, because I mean, yesterday I was on the phone with an insurance company, and I was talking to one of the ladies, and she was like, "Oh yeah, how's it going out there in California? I hear you guys are on martial law. You can't go out of the house. There's people walking around." And I was like, "No, I'm going to Rayleigh's," which for anybody out of California or Northern California, it's a grocer. And I'm going to go buy some stuff, and then we're actually going to go run out and pick up some food and go for a drive. And then go for a run later. So no, that's not really the way it is.
I think 1 in 5 Americans right now are quote unquote shelter in place. Some markets not being as affected by it.
And it's still compulsory. It's still technically compulsory. You are highly incentivized. And if you are just out and about, being crazy, they're going to, slap your wrists a little bit, but it's still compulsory. But I am very positive. So me saying, especially the past couple of weeks, I am not worried about it. I am personally not worried about it. I know that other people are going to be affected by it. And the things that I'm worried about is the blowback and the ripple effect, the unforeseen and to come events that will rear their ugly head because of this. Now, that being said, any sort of volatility in the market is, in my opinion, for a long-term investor, you should see that and presenting itself as a time to invest. If you are long-term, if you are a short-term investor, this really stinks. If you're retiring, this really stinks. But the reason we talk about the past down markets
cycles
is because we got out of them, and we always come right back out. And so I don't mean to sound over optimistic, but I mean, it really is going to work itself out that way. We're going to be just fine. And the other thing I would argue is, even today versus last Friday, there's more big players that have face to lose by being out in the public with saying that things are starting to work themselves out. And they're coming out in major publications and saying that things are starting to work themselves out. So I'm optimistic, but I do think that the best thing to do is just follow the rules. If you have a shelter-in-place order, just shelter in place. If you're not feeling well, stay home. Do what I'm doing for people that are over the age of 50, and make sure that if you have an appointment with somebody, don't go to that appointment. You don't need to show up to an appointment for somebody that's older.
If somebody shows up to an appointment coughing or sneezing, I am going to personally slap you upside the head so damn hard, you're going to wish you had coronavirus, all right? Because there is a sense of personal responsibility that we all should have. Yeah, it's a flu. Yeah, it's potentially, compared to common cold and the rhinovirus. But at the end of the day, this shit is serious, and I think the longer we're 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and people are towing the line and acting like it's a big deal, but it's not a big deal. And then why the fuck are we doing this shelter in place? And why are we doing all these things when half the people aren't subscribing to that anyways? And it's a little frustrating. But with that being said, we can get active and we can be proactive. My thing is, I'm not going to sit back and let the news project to me on what's happening and how I should be responding and what I should or shouldn't be doing outside of course, the health, restrictions. Yep. I'm going to get proactive and control the things that I can control: my diet, my mindset, how much I'm sleeping, who I'm spending my time with, what calls I'm taking, right? What projects I'm working on, how much time I'm spending on social media, the things that I know are going to serve me and help me move forward with my goals, instead of talking about and playing the victim and letting everything come to me and be reactive. I'm trying to be proactive and just get after the things that I know. There's always a silver lining in these things. There's always opportunity that comes from these things. But at the end of the day, a lot of people are getting hurt by this. So I'm bummed out about that.
Yep.
You're seeing a lot of people, I've got a lot of people in my mastermind groups, a lot of friends, a lot of mentors, a lot of small businesses that I know in our community that are straight up shutting down. They're laying off all their employees. They can't, even sustain a month of no income with their overhead. And that's how it is for a lot of people. So, there's some lessons to be learned in all of this, having more reserves, being more prepared for the Black Swan event, not living beyond your means, right? Things like that. But at the end of the day, it's time to get back on the offensive. I know that you'll like this.
Well, really quick.
In the news, your favorite.
Well, before you get there,
influencer.
because hold on, don't light me up before I
don't
set the firework off yet. Do you have any updates for any of the deals you're pulling down?
Yeah.
Considering that you're saying you're not going to let the virus, because I know maybe something that they don't know, but I don't want to steal your thunder or anything.
Well, so for me right now, I'm closing on a commercial strip center tomorrow. And I full transparency, I got kind of nervous. I was telling you last week, I'm like, dude.
What was I saying though?
You were giving me
come on, man.
Come on, buddy.
You got
that
it.
Good old,
You
come
got
on, buddy.
it.
Keep going.
Exactly.
Being that, let's be honest, 3 days of trading halts in 1 week. What seemed to be, the left and the right just bashing heads and not working well together. I was concerned of like, man, this could be a lot longer. And again, it still could be. I don't know. I'm hoping it's a quick snapback. But I got a great deal. The merit of the deal on the economics, worst case scenario, still stood sturdy. Cash flow was there. If basically it's an 11-unit strip center, and again, you talk about small businesses, right? Like if they're going out of business, and those are my tenants right there, that's my income stream.
Barbershop
at 30% occupancy, we could still cover the mortgage and be fine.
Yep.
So it was a screaming deal. So I'm moving forward. But what I did see in this process, I had some properties that were in escrow that I was selling to kind of free up some cash to cash in on the equity and the height of the market at what I thought. And all of my escrows crumbled. So all the buyers pulled back out. Another little update for you guys. Basically, every large iBuyer that is, whether it's a PE group or a REIT, but large iBuyers in the market on the retail SFR side and on the multifamily side all hit the pause button. So you look at them hitting the pause button, a lot of buyers' confidence going, I don't know where the market's going to go. So they're pulling back and you're seeing escrows being put on halt. When the California Association of Realtors, and I think they did this in National Association of Realtors, I could be wrong, but I know for a fact in California, they created a COVID disclosure basically saying like, hey, this is going to delay your escrows. This is going to delay appraisals or delay inspections or delay access to properties. And we still need to operate with business as usual, but it's kind of a disclosure that's essentially giving a little bit more leeway and runway time for this to all play out because we don't know where the dust is going to settle. But right now, California Association of Realtors said no more appraisals, no more inspections, no more really you want to put your listing on pause, things like that, because this is unprecedented times. We're seeing, I know for me, I'm going to all my lenders right now and asking for mortgage forbearances, not forgiveness, but forbearance, being that I want to sit in as much cash as possible right now for what could or could not be happening in the next 60 to 90 days with potential tenants not paying their rents, moratoriums being held on evictions, right? So somebody could just say, you know what? I don't feel like paying rent this month. You can't do anything for the next 2 months and maybe I'm going to leave anyways, or maybe I don't give two shits of what you have to worry about on paying your mortgage, or, hey, I really do have a hardship here and I can't pay. So trying to keep as much cash on hand as possible, get in front of this by communicating with the lender. So if you have a mortgage right now and you haven't reached out to your lender yet right now, I would highly recommend doing that. Extremely important to be on the front end of that because they may get to a point at some time where they go, yeah, we've given out enough of those. We're not going to do it anymore. And you want to be one of those first responsible on the front end mortgage holders that are communicating with your lenders and trying to work with them, vice versa. I'm doing the same thing with all of my tenants. We have a really cool sheet that we're sending out to all of the tenants in the commercial strip centers and the single family properties and the fourplexes, all the multis, and basically getting in communication with them to, one, just team human, offer support. Everybody's going through shit right now. Everybody doesn't know kind of how to respond to this thing. They don't all have access to the right resources and materials. So we're trying to be, one, supportive, two, get a feel for where they're at so I can respond accordingly on my end, and three, really understand what kind of concessions or support we need to provide them, because it's kind of shifted from, yes, I'm still going after asset acquisition, but right now more than ever is asset protection and asset management. How you protect your assets, how you manage your assets right now is going to be more important now than ever, because this is what so many people have worked really hard for in investing, their income or their retirement accounts into real estate for wealth growth, for passive income. And now a lot of that is at risk for a lot of people. So now more than ever is a really key and critical time to getting aggressive and proactive with how you're managing your properties, how you're communicating with your tenants, how you're offering support. And I also think that there's going to be some real big opportunity that comes from this. Big opportunity.
Yeah.
And again, we don't know what the opportunity, how deep it's going to be, how much hardship is going to be out there, how much support and where the support is coming from for a lot of mortgage holders. They're talking about Fannie and Freddie loans getting potential forgiveness for up to 12 months. Some crazy stuff like that is going on right now. It's still floating. We don't have really too many nails.
Concrete.
Yeah. Hammered into the board.
This aid package needs to get through first, and that'll give some ideas to people, because that'll provide.
That's really where it all starts.
Yeah, it'll provide additional liquidity.
That's the lead domino.
Yeah, it'll just that additional liquidity being allowed will.
That's going to impact the lending markets, which that's a whole nother thing. I just made a post this morning in one of my mastermind groups on asking where are we at on the lending side, because the last few weeks I was going to start a refi and you're going to get a screaming quote and or screaming rate, and now it's changing. These lenders are pulling out. These companies are pulling back. So I know for a lot of people, and I'm checking this feed actually as I update it right now. Residential mortgage-backed securities doing better. MBS still not moving. Hopefully some stabilization later in the week. Agency lenders are slammed with refinance requests and are actually rates due to demand, and we're running to catch up. Some life company deals are getting signed up. So I know a lot of life insurance companies were just, nope. We're done. Yep. Like, gates are closed right now.
A lot of them were dropping their premium threshold limits by 75%. So whereas they would take in $1 million per person, they would only take $250,000. So I had a couple of specially designed cases and stuff with some clients that we had to get some special approvals for. But they should be fully liquid, because most insurance companies' net gap assets are like 97%. So they have like $50 billion in cash on hand, but they're going to burn through cash really fast during times like this, because
cash is king right now, guys.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I'm really interested to see at least how this trickles out into the real estate sector. Are we going to see a bunch of inventory hit the market because people are freaking out and they're going, man, I got $500,000 in equity, which could be $250 next year. I need to get my house on the market this summer selling season, cash in on that. Guaranteed. We might see inventory spike up drastically, and rates are still going to be relatively low in the big picture.
Yes.
But is the demand going to be there? If people are losing their jobs, are they going to be able to qualify anymore? If unemployment shoots up to 25%, are people actually going to be able to qualify anymore?
I think you're going to see this weird, like, ratcheting rebound effect of the upper middle and wealthy individuals that have a lot of reserves and cash on hand and qualified plans that are directed or non. They're going to deploy their investment cash and start buying up the properties that I think we're going to have a late spring season, I think, for real estate, for traditional real estate and realtors. And then you're going to see a lot of big cash buyers. And cash is going to be, if it was attractive last year, it's going to be way more attractive. But where I think the opposite effect is going to happen, where you're going to have houses listed at 500, they're not going to get sold at 520 with a cash buyer or 505. They're going to come in at 480 or 475 with cash and be like, hey, I have it right now for you.
Yeah.
Time value of money. What do you want to do?
The Corona discount is what they're calling it. Here's what I'll say. I had my fourplex in escrow, and it was in escrow at 900, and I owe about 6 on it. And this was going to be my sleep well at night money, just add a little bit more cushion to my cash reserves, because I know there's going to be some opportunities that come out. And my buyer on Friday canceled because they were scared of the uncertainty in the market. He was a dentist. He just had to lay off a bunch of people. He can only see emergency clients. So this is a relatively, in my opinion, upper middle class, wealthy individual who is now pulling back, scared, doesn't know what's going to go on in the market. If he would have said, I'll give you $850 instead of $900, I would have given him that discount without even questioning it, personally. But I'm just saying, you're going to see a lot more of that, especially as the market rolls out with some more clear data. You're going to see some people, I think, panic selling. You're going to see some people facing some hardship, depending on what kind of aid or support does or doesn't come, may impact the discounts that people are willing to give to get out of that hardship. So I don't know about you guys, but here's my sentiment is I told myself that if 2008 or anything close to it ever comes back around, I'm going to be ready.
Yeah,
I'm going to be ready.
Yeah, I just have
And this is it. Just so you guys know.
Cash on hand.
We don't know what it looks like. We don't know how bad this is, but I can tell you that this is another wealth transfer opportunity that I want every single person that I know, that I care about, that I don't know, but is actively and intentionally positioning themselves and educating themselves and surrounding themselves with the right tools and resources and people to capitalize on this, to actually win big, because this is where family trees and legacies are shifted and put on new trajectories. And
our coffee's here.
Our coffee's here?
I'm going to get our coffee.
Bring him in.
All right.
Yeah, bring him in. So I think it's going to be something that we look back on and we say, that was it. That was the opportunity that changed my life. Or you can be one of those people, like many were in 9, 10, 11, and 12, looking back going, man, I wish I would have bought more real estate. I wish I would have bought more this or more that. Now is going to be, in the next 12, 24, 36 months, that buying opportunity. Again, how great it is, I don't know, but I know there is going to be opportunity. When you see big iBuyers pulling back, when you see buyers pulling out of the market, seasoned investors and pros are getting really excited. When money is pulled off the table, now we're going to start seeing some real opportunity present itself. And when that cash is ready to get dispersed, you know the people who are extremely concerned about what's going on are going to take that cash at a discount. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the market does. Going back to the lender thread that I was telling you guys with, one of my mentors, David Osborne, shout out to Dro, said our rates still back up again. They dropped and then they rose again, which has basically been the sentiment over the last couple days. If we got any lenders on here, I'd be curious if you guys want to post in the comments or the thread what you guys are seeing. A lot of people are saying, hey, we still want to they want to loan money, but liquidity was the issue. A lot of stuff locked up with what's been going on in the volatility in the market. Michael Jones said they've come back down some, not the rock bottom that we saw in the beginning of March, but much better than they were last week. Bo said, hard money side, my fund is still lending on flips and bridge. We halted rental loans. We can't sell them. I know that Lending Home, which is a big hard money lender that I've done some business with, basically sent out a big letter to all of their investors, changing some terms, which they went up a little bit to hedge some of their risk in this time of uncertainty. One of my buddies said that they're head of finance, they're a hard money lending company, released something yesterday. One, they slashed everybody's salaries, and they raised their rates to like 13 to 15% with 2 to 4 points. And I'm like, come on, guys, that's crazy. So it's going to be interesting time to see where your money relationships trend towards, because that could be something that's very, very interesting. So we got Mr. Breedwell bringing. Oh, we got a guest. We got a guest, my man. Awesome. We're live right now too, bro. Oh, we're live, brother. So Breedwell decided to pay $250 for some coffee, but that's going to some good peeps. Bro, say what up.
What's up? What's up? Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a great morning. Good day to be alive. Oh, we're in. What's up? Look at that, man. Little coffee.
Who are you? What do you do?
My name's Robbie Quick. I'm an MC.
Come take
a seat. We're doing a spontaneous,
I love this.
You were the best. We're doing a spontaneous live and podcast recording today. So if you guys are watching this recording, head over to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, say what up. We're talking just all the craziness that's going on in the market.
There's a lot
Who
of
are you? What do you do?
Hey, my name's Robbie Quick. I'm an MC auctioneer. Work for the River Cats. I do some community emceeing for them. So I do a lot of the high school assembly or the school assemblies and their home games. On the mic. What's up, guys? We're in section 115. Here we go, kind of stuff. Throwing out giveaways. So I'm kind of an entertainer of sorts. I have a company, Robbie Quick Entertainment, and that's kind of what I do. But now I have no one to entertain, so we're trying to figure that out.
Well, hey, bro, you got the people right here. How have things? Oh, dude, that's gangster.
Is that too big for you?
Wait,
No, this is perfect.
Okay. I know you're tall. Yeah, you're tall. You're long.
I'm tall.
Yeah.
I'm tall.
Oh yeah. No, it's funny because when this all went down, it was weird. I had this amazing piece inside, but it was like also have wisdom, figure out what we're doing. And I thought, okay, there's a lot of people in the community who've helped me, donated prizes for when I'm doing auctioneer, doing benefit galas, things of that nature. I went, okay, let me start there, get all of those people on my side. Go, how can I help you? I said, hey, let me come deliver. Because, right now, all the restaurants, shut down. You can do pickup or delivery. Yep. That's the only way some of them are staying alive. Yeah. Right? But they can honor, staying distancing and things of that nature. So I said, hey, let me come drive. Yeah. I'll drive for tips, whatever. Let me help you. And then it's going to help me a little. But it's really about getting them and keeping them in business, That's amazing, and so, yeah.
Well, that's why I wanted to buy some coffee for the folks.
Yeah.
These are the best $250 coffees I've ever had.
It's got to be. It's got to be. Copa Luau. What do they call it? You know what I'm talking about?
These are good. I needed some coffee.
The cat poop coffee.
Also, cheers to supporting your local businesses.
Yeah, support your local businesses, guys.
You don't know how important it is. If you have the means to support your local businesses, you should be doing so. And hopefully I can set a small example, but you should be supporting your local businesses if you have the means to do so, because by doing that, they can then support you back by putting money and jobs and cash back into the community, which will ultimately get us out of this situation. Yeah. Sorry for being far away from that, but
come on, brah.
we need to support our small and local businesses, because those are the ones that are going to be most affected by this. So if you have the opportunity to shop at a mom and pop versus a large grocer, do that.
Yep.
If you have the opportunity to support a local roaster, do that.
Yep.
If you can get your hair cut at a local bar, well, I guess those aren't open right now.
Close, yeah.
But when you
Everybody's starting to
do
look
that.
real scraggly.
So,
I'm not taking my hat
yeah,
off.
I know. I have to call my barber.
That's what I'm wearing mine today.
I got to
too.
get the Corona cut going soon, or else I'm going to have the Corona fro. But in all seriousness, this is going to affect people for the next few months. So any little thing, all politics, partisanship aside, everybody needs to come together in this time.
It's team human,
and that's all it is. That's all it is.
Hashtag team human. It's weird. I heard this the other day from a small business owner, and I was asking them how they're doing. And he's like, you know what? Yeah, I kind of felt this sense of peace after I went through all of the emotions of holy shit, what's going down right now. I can't pay my customer, or I can't work with my customers. I can't pay my team. I have overhead. All these expenses are still here. My income has been forced away from me because I can't have a storefront anymore. They're forcing me to shut down. And he goes, I'm almost like in this sense of peace because I know that we're all going through this together. Yeah. Like, this is the first time that you can say on a global scale, team human, we're all going through this together. And there have been so many beautiful things and blessings. Like, you're talking about the emissions satellite images over China because their industry has been shut down. And within 2 weeks, you see the actual like emission images completely wiped out. You're seeing dolphins come into Italy and in the canals that they haven't been there in like decades. There's all these positive things that are happening. I think, you know,
in Italy, the sediment. Remember, you hear that? Because there was so little traffic, all the sediment rested, and you could see clear through to the bottom. It was like the most beautiful waters in Venice that there's ever been.
There's got to be, you know, silver linings in all of this.
The
like
night
I
is
choose
always darkest before the sunrise, guys.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah, I'm just trying to go, man. I choose to try and find the positives in this thing, getting to spend time with my family, the fact that we're getting to practice on a disease that isn't like Ebola, and we're not all 1 and 2 people just dropping down dead in the street. The fact that, you know, we're kind of getting this test run, the fact that we're seeing people come together and work together and support each other, people leaning in heavy on their faith right now. Just a lot of benefits to this that I think, you know, it's easy to overlook when you just look at the financial aspect of it, right? But some real shit, you got to obviously pay attention to your finances and get smart right now. Get your 6-month plan dialed in. Pay down your credit cards, but make the minimum payment right now because cash is king, in my opinion. Having at least a 6-month plan of how you're going to take care of.
If you have good credit and you're carrying a lot of debt on a high interest card, make sure you explore or ask your current bank about 0% interest balance transfer options.
A lot of people have been doing that right now.
Yeah, and that could be a great way for you're going to normally incur a 1 to 4% fee on the balance transferred, but with no interest at 20 to 25, 27% APRs accruing on that, it generally will pay for itself quickly, especially if you can go ahead and those payments are at no interest. They're actually going towards principal. So just an idea to explore, but also know that I'm not recommending anybody get a credit card. Make sure you have a good credit score. Check with your banker. Reach out to me if you want a second opinion. Ryan Breedwell at Capital Planning Group. You know my handle, at @Breedwell. I always put my cell phone out here, 707-372-2207. Shoot me a text. I'm here to help. Give you guidance. There's no cost, no obligation or anything. But those are things you guys should be exploring in these times to keep cash on hand.
All right.
And it's a good time for a prank call, too, if you just want to call him and just goof around. You know? He's put his number out there like that.
He's going to get
Hey, I got a credit card. Huh? I got some problems. Can you help me? Jerky boys.
That's where you get a quick beep.
Yeah.
Wait.
Bye-bye.
Anybody there?
Spam calling. I got to go. But, you know, thanks for having me on here. I'm just delivering coffee. Be positive. There's a lot.
There's a positive message because I know you're in the church. You're always speaking, you know, to a lot of people, bringing obviously faith into their life, bringing positivity, bringing a positive message. You got any positive messages that you've really been kind of holding and that's resonated with you or with others right now?
Yeah.
During this kind of time?
And it might sound scary at first, but I always put things out there so that anybody listening from anywhere, any background, any faith, whatever, can hear it. Like, here's the deal. We're going to get through this. And the crazy part is, like, if we don't, we're not. Like, there's nothing anybody can do. And so now it's balancing, am I going to live in major fear or am I going to live in and you don't want to go stick your head in the clouds and pretend like nothing's wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
We got to be looking at what's going on, be wise, have wisdom, you know, even all the stuff you're talking about financially, really checking your stuff. Where's the best source of a low interest coming in? Okay, do I have a HELOC I can use to my benefit, you know, things of that nature. But then there's like, don't run scared. And if you are scared, talk to someone.
Yeah.
Open up. It's hard for the human soul to do this, by the way. We don't like opening up to each other. We don't like getting vulnerable. We don't like doing that. It's just, it comes from our childhood. I mean, I'm not going to get into all that, but like, open up, talk to somebody. Fear is real, but if you can talk about it, you can actually control it and actually bring some hope through it. And it's difficult, but talk to somebody. Find someone you can talk to. Realize we will get through this. We're human. This is what we do. We get through things. And if we can listen and really, I mean, God, go with your gut, your soul. Be led, you know, to know what you need to do in this time. And don't lose control of your mind. Really be focused on, what do I got to do to get through this? How can I help others?
Yeah.
Man, I couldn't sleep last night because I started thinking the natural sense to get selfish. We are selfish creatures at times. Yep. And stepping out of that and going, I mean, why are you guys here right now, right? You know?
Serve others.
To let other people hear information that can benefit them. How can you help somebody? I'm just randomly calling people every day going, how are you? How are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm just checking in.
Yep.
So I want you to know I'm here. We're all going, you said it, we're all going through this together. It's like cycling. I'm a big cyclist. And so when you're cycling, when you climb a hill, it doesn't matter if you're Lance Armstrong or someone that just got on the bike for the first time. The hill sucks for everybody.
Yeah, right.
It might be a little easier for a pro, right? So you're talking about someone might have just bread stacked to the, in their closet, and they're like, I got a ton of money, but they're still feeling this.
Right.
But we're all in this together,
Yeah.
and we're all experiencing it together. So let's love each other. Be smart, have wisdom, but have faith. Have faith in humanity. And just smile. I mean, freaking smile, y'all. Come on.
It's hard, and this goes back to Tony Robbins, right? Like, just put a smile on your face and tell me that you're pissed off right now. You can't. It's really, really hard to do, right?
Hard to do.
It's that state management. I actually have it up here every single day when I come in. What state are you in? Now's more than ever important time to make sure that you're managing your state, because it's really easy. I felt like when I was reading the news and listening to the news, all of a sudden I'm like, fuck, I'm stressed out. Like, what? Okay, my state is being manipulated right now because of the environment and what I'm putting into my brain right now by choice. But what state are you in? What state do you want to be in? What can you do differently right now to shift that state? Drop and do push-ups, jumping jacks, blast some music, call a best friend, whatever, right? And then what are you giving your mind to? What are you focusing on? And have you moved your body today? Those things at least allow me to shift my state on a dime and take back control. But I love what you said about just coming from a place of love, pushing into your faith. And right now, the number one thing that I'm doing is doubling down on relationships, doubling down on people like Ryan and like you and other people that are being really proactive and surrounding themselves with the right people, the right resources, the right narrative, and are taking action. Yeah. Because those are going to be the people that tip their hat on something that can serve you at a really high level, help you navigate these challenging times, and know that you're locked in arms doing it together, and we're all working towards a solution and getting through this together as well. So Team Human.
Team Human.
Bro, thanks for stopping in today, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Fun.
Have a good one, guys.
Thank you so much, man.
Absolutely.
Well, as we wrap up this episode, this has been kind of a fun episode because it's been one of our non-normal episodes. Breedwell is swiping that card. Swipe that card, baby.
Don't tell my wife.
Don't tell my wife. Well, she's gonna find out now. Oh, man. If you guys got any questions, comments, topics that you guys want us covering, feel free to head over to go.millionairemindcast.com. Enter that in there. You'll get entered into our monthly giveaway as well. If you haven't texted the word Wealth Camp to 844-447-1555, do that. We have a few spots left for our May event, so getting really excited for that one coming up. Mm-hmm. All right, let's finish on this one since this has been a fun and trending topic.
Papa Cardone
over the last few weeks in episodes.
Man,
people know how much I'm a fan of Cardone. And we know Breedwell.
Probably a python. Oh, no, that's him.
We know Breedwell is maybe not as big of a fan.
No, I don't like people. I don't like people that lie to other people to advance their prerogative.
Here's some news for you guys today from the Scientology Money Project.com.
Man, probably.
I don't even like giving.
Do you have Wi-Fi here?
Yeah. Here,
give us a second.
Yeah, 2 seconds, and we'll get you linked up on Wi-Fi. So, 10x being hammered. Grant Cardone lays off 80 of his 180 employees without any notice, and a lot of people are loving this. I never like to promote or celebrate anybody's demise, but I'm curious on your thought and take on all this, Breedwell.
Yeah,
Don't hold back, bro. You never have held back, so don't hold back now.
All my real estate investors, you know what happens when you over-syndicate. So this is a little bit of over-syndication coming and snapping back. When you pull a rubber band that far, it has to come back at some point or it breaks.
And this is why Carl Icahn says his biggest short in position right now is in commercial real estate, in the commercial bond market. So he thinks a lot of people have over-syndicated, over-leveraged in the commercial market. That's a whole other topic. We can talk about that next week. But what's your take on
Yeah, well, I will tell you right now, and you can go look at, if you can peel through his comments, you can probably find me in there a couple times. You can probably find me in there a couple times. I am literally showering in in the blood of his company like it's holy water. It is absolutely, I called it last December that he was going way too hard on trying to get people into investments. And the thing that people don't understand is they don't read the contracts, the withdrawal gates on the contracts. Once you put your money in there, you can't get the money back out. You cannot get your money back out. So whereas he's gonna have a real, oh man, I can't wait. Oh God, I can't wait. In like 30 days, all of the investors who he's promised a 4, 5, 6% monthly dividend, which at 6%, guys, that is a 72%
That's a tough one to keep
annual
up with.
simple dividend. That is out of control. He is going to blow up. That's why if you go on his Facebook.
Okay, hold on real quick. Your prediction right now, I want it. Is Cardone Capital going to implode?
Oh, yeah, it's going bye-bye. He's already closed his advertising agency. It's done.
All right, you guys heard it here first on the Millionaire Mindcast. Breedwell saying Grant Cardone, not Cardone himself, but let's say Cardone Capital. And I want to go to his Instagram real quick.
If you go to his Instagram, you guys are going to notice he's peppering the steak right now. He's like, oh, shout out to my business owners who've been taking employment risk. Here's
what I will say. His energy and this swag and this I'm the motherfucking man.
Bye.
It's shifted.
1.7 billion AUM.
Yeah, so 1.7
1.7. Now you sound like him.
1.7 billion assets under management.
Does not have any assets under management. When you just so you guys know, when you syndicate, you are literally taking somebody else's owned property and then rehash it. You don't own it. When I rent a house, I don't own it. When you buy a property like he does, then you manage it, and I would consider that assets under care, AUC. Trust me, if we could publish our assets under care, we would look a whole heck of a lot sexier than we are. But we don't publish assets under care because we don't care for them. They're at other custodians being cared for. So that's a very misleading statement.
Yeah, his all I know is his energy has changed, his narrative has changed a little bit. He's still, putting his content out and doing the best he can, but I'm just curious. You're saying he is going to Cardone Capital is going bye-bye.
Yeah, and simply because how is he going to be able to afford?
But what if this snapback that you're talking about?
It's not going to affect him. He doesn't invest in stocks. He thinks stocks are stupid.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying in general, the overall impact of what's going on real estate assets, right?
Oh, I think his personal properties are going to be affected because he's going to piss off so many people by not allowing them to take their money out. He's going to get drowned in lawsuits, so his legal fees are going to skyrocket. He's going to have to start mediating. He's going to have to settle with people. It's going to get to the point where he's like, I can't afford to fight all this, so I'm going to have to settle with people. So that's going to be a cash burn. He's posting all the time that they're looking for tenants. So his tenancy is dropping. He's,
I don't know, bro.
Bitching and moaning about
the can't fail rule.
Of course, he has the can't fail rule. Of course.
Well, this will be something that we are going to keep an eye on.
Of course, he can't fail. He just lays off people.
We're going to keep an eye on this in general. Again, I'm never rooting for anybody to fail. But if you're not doing things with integrity or ethics, brother, appreciate you, Robbie.
See you, buddy.
Thanks, man. Love you too, bro.
I'd love to connect with you more. Seriously, I'd love to learn from you.
Yeah. No, you're good. Hit me up.
See you guys, for real.
All right, buddy. Take care, man.
Dude, cheers. That was awesome.
So with that being said, guys, just stay focused on what you can control. Stay tuned in to the right people, the right channels, the right communities, the right resources. I said it before. Now more than ever, I am doubling down on my masterminds, my education, my community, and I'm doubling down on my relationships. Doubling down on your relationships with your family, with your friends, with your employees, with your customers. Love on them now more than ever. Help them get through these challenging times and do it in a way that is just, this isn't for me, this is just to purely serve you. And those are going to be the people that you build loyalty with for a lifetime. As well as obviously by plugging into now is the time to double down on coaches and mentors and education and mastermind groups, because these are the people that are going to come out 2, 5, 10, 100x stronger, sharper, wiser, more equipped, more armed to go out there and succeed at a really high level. So make sure you are surrounding yourself with those people. Any final thoughts?
I've again, guys, if you are sitting on the sideline with any sort of aspiration of, is it a good time to invest? I have a bunch of money and I see this really good real estate deal. I'm looking to get into coaching, but I don't know if. Don't wait. If you are uncomfortable and you are inside that area of uncomfortability, you are in the growth zone. So I would encourage you to not sit on the sidelines and wait. Reach out to your lenders, talk to them about exploring a 15-year, exploring a 20-year. What does a 5-1 or a 7-1 arm look like for me? What does a 10-year fix look like, or excuse me, a 15-year fix look like for me? Be creative with yourself right now, because this is the type of stuff. These are the moments in time that create opportunity for those that are willing to take the risk. And fortune definitely does favor the bold. Don't over leverage yourself. Don't make any hasty decisions. But you should definitely consider the opportunities that lay in front of you. Equities are on discount. Fixed income is on discount. Interest rates will level out. They're going to spike short term because of all the volatility. But take advantage of this right now, because you're going to be looking back, and 2020 hindsight is the biggest thing that can kick you in the rear. And you're going to look back and say, man, I wish I would have, like everybody in 2011 and 2012 did when they weren't picking up homes in 09 and 10. So I just, don't be that person. Take advantage of this if you've been prepared. And if you haven't been prepared, take note. And next time, make sure you are prepared. Make sure you have that 7, 8, 9, me, I have a 14-month reserve. So I can get through this, no problem. So, that's my advice to you guys, and I love you all, and I appreciate you guys as listeners. I'm here as a resource if you need to reach out. Again, my handle is @rbreedwell on Instagram. Shoot me a DM. Email is ryanbreedwell@capitalplanninggroup.com. And if you're looking to get involved and take your planning to the next level, make sure you send a text out and sign up for that wealth camp. What's the number again, Matt?
Text the word wealth camp to 844-447-1555. With that being said, if you haven't subscribed to the podcast or the YouTube channel yet, be sure to do so you never miss another episode. If you got any questions, drop those in the comments section below, and we will look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode. Stay safe.
See you later, guys.
Peace. Well, that wraps up this week's episode of Wealth Building Wednesday. If you have any additional questions that you want us to answer on the show, head over to go.millionairemindcast.com and submit that question. And by doing so, you also get entered into a monthly giveaway of over $1,100 in prizes. That's go.millionairemindcast.com. And if you got some great value from today's show, be sure to leave a review, subscribe so you never miss another episode of the Millionaire Mindcast. Most importantly, share this episode with someone that you know can get some insight and some value from what was talked about in today's episode. Now, if you're someone who is truly serious about building wealth, whether that's through real estate or the equities markets, we all know that you can accelerate those goals and those achievements by being in proximity to conversations, to resources, to other individuals. And you can do that by heading over to therichlifeacademy.com and join our community for just $7 a month and get involved in the conversation, get involved in the community, and be surrounded by other people who are actively pursuing and achieving the goals that you too are going after in your own life or in your own business. Or if you are really serious about elevating your network and accelerating your growth, go to ineedaccountability.com to join our 90-day accountability group challenges that are running year-round. And this is where we place you into a group with 5 other hand-selected, hard-charging wealth builders who are setting goals, who are tracking those in our software with the success mentor that is given to those 5 individuals in that group and is actually holding you accountable to tracking and achieving those collectively as a group. And if you want to know more about what that entails, go to ineedaccountability.com. Or if you are someone who is further down the path with your wealth building and you're ready to go vertical, you're ready to scale, and you want to know more about our elite one-on-one wealth acceleration coaching packages, which entails working one-on-one directly with myself or Ryan or other wealth advisors in our community, Email mattia@millionairemindcast.com to learn more. Until next time, keep investing in yourself and your wealth on your march to $1 million and beyond. Cheers, my friends.